Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Dragon's Tome. I'm your host, Jack. I'm here with my best pal, Rob, and my partner in crime here, Chopper.
Hello.
And we are going to be going through, in chronological order, Dragon magazines. Sounds fun, doesn't it? You want to come along? Sure. That's what you're here for. Introduce yourselves. Say hi.
I'm Chopper.
How do you introduce us? He introduced us already.
He did.
I'm Rob.
Us.
He already did that. I think he's got some drugs.
That's right. In case you missed it, that's Rob.
No, that's Jack. That's Pat.
That's Rob.
And
Dead weight. They're dead weight. I throw it to them, and the professionals that they are, they flubbed it. It's like a vaudeville act of incompetence. So let's just get right to it. So let's look at the cover of the magazine that we're going to be reviewing today, and it is 60. And
it's another painting.
Another well done, almost, I don't know.
And the border's back.
Rob's borders are back. Almost.
Look at all that empty space at the top could have the title.
Too competent and a little bit creepy.
Discuss. It is creepy.
What is the name of the painting?
It doesn't have a name, but it's by Dean Morrissey. My name for it is What's in the Barn?
What's in the barn?
A classic Seven reference, yes.
It is weird. Like he's like invited. It's the woman. I think it's a woman. Is getting like leered at by a guy around the corner who looks like Riff Raff from Rocky Horror.
Yes, and then we have it looks like Copernicus beckoning her in.
We can call this early Dahmer.
Yeah,
come on in.
And why none of them have shoes on?
Bare feet everywhere. Like
they're not even hobbits.
It's a very interesting. It makes discussion of it. You know, you look at it, and go, oh, okay. I would not have purchased this magazine. Some of these I've seen where it's like, oh, this is piquing my fantasy interest. This is so giving me the wrong vibes.
Especially with the main character with their back to the action, so you can't even see her.
We can call her. We call this Stranger Danger.
It is Stranger Danger. It's just it's a weird picture. It's April '82, by the way. This is April. Maybe it's April Fool's.
April Fool's.
Yeah. Why? This is a joke that this covers that bad?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Because no guy would ever lure a woman to a dark barn with two other guys.
With weird stuff in the barn. I still don't know what's going on in there.
It's a lamp store.
I think she's purchasing services from the wizard, but the one of the helpers is definitely like riffraff. So
the other one's Alan Moore. So
this cover leaves me with lots of anticipation. Anyways, Rob, let's go down to your Dragon's Rumbles. You've got your shtick. This is your territory. We're gonna follow you into your wheelhouse. What's going down?
It's Kim Mohan again for some reason, and he talks about how the magazine doesn't always show up to these people when they have subscriptions, and he explains that a reader from DC didn't receive his magazine, and so he complained to Wizard, and he got a replacement. But then the original eventually showed up with a little note, and it came all the way from Vienna. Somehow it went from DC and missed DC, it went to Vienna, and came back to him.
In Europe.
Yes, yeah. Vienna, Austria.
So put another shrimp on the Barbie. How did it get way down there, right beside New Zealand? We don't know, but they did. So
I do like the fact that the guy put out how old he is.
Well, there's a little note with it, and it says, you're never going to guess what happened. Your Dragon Meg was sent to me and missed by about 4,000 miles. Talk about bad aim. And it's signed Chris Brush, 72 years old, from Vienna, Austria.
No, it's not 72 years old.
Yeah.
That's what it says.
It's 12.
No, it says 72. You think it's 12? Could be 12.
I think it's 12.
I think it's 72.
That makes more sense.
The
Makes more
17
sense because look at how bad the writing is.
Yeah, but I'm this old and my handwriting is worse than that.
And the 72-year-old would just hawk it in the trash and be done. This kid.
You're gonna tell me this kid had the wherewithal to take it to the U.S. Embassy to be sent back?
Yes,
They are Austrian. They are known for their efficiency.
that's right. Crocodiles, knives that are better than other knives, and efficiency.
I'm going with
geography.
72
Really?
because I think that 70-year-old man is thinking this would be a funny ass joke to send us back to D.C. through the embassy.
But the story goes on because the same guy who had this happen to him, the next month, he got a whole bushel full of magazines because sometimes the USPS decides they don't want to cut the bushels apart and just send it to whoever's on top. They send the whole amount of subscriptions to the same person. So he ended up with like 20 magazines. He had to send back to the post office to get mailed out again. So yeah, so it's good old USPS. Works as well then as it does now.
Yep.
Oh, the postal service.
There you go. Dragon Rumbles was a funny one this time.
Well, thank you, Rob. You did that with aplomb, and I congratulate you on your professionalism. Pat, what do you say we jump into our first true article? What do you got for us?
I
What
got
page are we?
page 8.
Page 8. Okay, nice and
Ooh.
close. We don't have to scroll down too far.
We're back to all these guys. Eh?
Yeah, so this now we have done dwarves, we've done halflings, now we're doing elves. The elves have some really nice little artwork in it, though.
He looks evil though.
Yeah, it's very, very Galacticus.
I could see this painted on the side of a van.
Oh,
Yeah.
like Krieger would have this on the side of his van, except for he would be like a scantily clad woman up the leg, like
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
yeah.
But again, it breaks down the whole socio, whatever you want to call it, socio
Political, religious, economic.
in the first part of the article, and then you get to the gods of the elves, which is good too, because I don't think there are any elven gods in the deities.
I always assumed elves were godless because they have no souls. So,
Which has been established via these magazines.
Yep.
It's well known.
So, but they do have things. So
you do have some gods.
Not nearly as good as the dwarves nor the halflings, in my opinion, but they're there.
There's definitely not as much art. There is all the gods have art, but there's not much art sprinkled in. It's a lot of walls of text in this one.
The Sage Advice is pretty good too.
Really?
Well, there's some funny things about reincarnation
because they don't have souls.
Yeah. And then they even include the socio of the half elf.
Poor half elves. Always the afterthought.
As an afterthought. No, let's talk about the half elf, Roger Moore.
Yeah.
This isn't Roger E. Moore. This is actually James Bond talking about them.
Yeah, this is
the actor who played
the actor. Yeah,
the best version of James Bond, in my opinion.
Oof.
Stop it!
I'm a Sean Connery guy.
Are you?
I am also, but hey.
I'm a fan of Sean Connery as a person.
Because you like how he beats women.
He was half correct there, but I like how he stood up.
He didn't say about beating. He just a little tap.
Yeah, but everyone who worked with him, he went to bat for other actors. Almost like he's renowned for if a director was giving an actor a hard time and he knew that was wrong, that he would be like he was one that would swing his big D.
I think it was more that he just hated directors because there's lots of stories about him like punching out directors and stuff. So,
and see, you got to admire a guy who knows how to, uses,
he's not afraid to
serve a little lunch. Yeah,
I'm not afraid of fisticuffs.
This is like 3 degrees off of what we're supposed to be talking about. It's not even about Sean Connery. It's about Roger Moore, and it's not that Roger Moore.
How did you let that happen? Who's the host of this show?
Who's hosting this show?
Whoever hosting this show better stop drinking.
Yeah, you better reel it in there, whoever's hosting this show.
Oh, we just finished his beer. We're in trouble.
So
elves.
So that was it. Elves, and just like all the other what's the word, segments in previous magazines, this lives up to it. Fills out some holes, adds some things to your campaign if you need it.
Good. And I hope, honestly, I haven't read ahead, but if they do this for all of the races,
yeah, be interesting.
It's nice. Again, sometimes I critique this magazine by would I be disappointed if I got it, if I paid good hard-earned casheroos for it. It's got interesting stuff. I wouldn't mind if this was a recurring thing until they ran out of subjects.
Yeah, for sure.
Who's next? That's me. If we wouldn't mind going down to page 26 and 27 because of the way it's laid out, it's a...
this is one of mine also. A spit page. Yes, this is one of mine also.
Okay, well then feel free, everyone, to jump aboard. This is basically another history of article, which I've gone on record as being a fan of.
Yeah, I almost did this one too, but then I saw it was Ed, and then his history lessons sometimes are very deep.
And this is more like the archery one where he applies it to D&D. Not so much, it's just a pure history one.
And he does, because he does apply it to D&D, he does apply it only to medieval Europe because that was the framework. The original D&D was a European mythologies, European...
Eurocentric. Yes.
Was Eurocentric by design. Nothing wrong with that. So he starts with European stuff. Like he'll do Spain, France. He does all kinds of things, right from handheld to cannons. And what I like, was that it is a history lesson, but he prefaces it by saying, please don't put it in your game willy-nilly because it will dominate the game, which it did in history. Then he goes through, he says, okay, this is battlefields did this, all very interesting. I would gladly have gotten this magazine if I had paid for it. And it also goes into who would have built the weapons, who in history manned them, and what the projectiles and everything about it. It was, in my mind, probably one of the better articles I've read in a long time. And it's got tables, it's got everything. It's got, if you want pictures, if you want tables, if you want history, if you want something you can use in your day-to-day D&D life, it's got it all. A+. Chef's kiss.
He's just sucking up to Ed because he insulted him in previous episodes, so he's just sucking up to him in this one.
Ed?
I did say
Who's Ed?
Ed Greenwood, that you wrote this article.
Did I say something?
Yeah, you remember you got him so we'd never play board game we were going to play with him ever.
I remember I said Ed was my favorite name, that I wish my name was Ed, and Greenwood's an awesome last name. Like, if I were to meet someone named Ed Greenwood, I'd be very interested in spending some time and getting to know them. I don't know.
And playing a board game.
I would play a board game with an Ed Greenwood.
Snits?
Not Snits.
Not Snits.
I don't think Ed would play Snits either. He doesn't seem like the kind of guy who played Snits.
You went to the Gygax house and played D&D with some of the high rollers of the D&D world, and I would say that because you saw Snits in the museum showcase,
the retail box, no less.
Yeah, it's forefront of your mind. Snits, I have forgotten and would like to continue to forget.
He'll keep bringing it up just to keep you in mind.
Oh, it's going to keep coming up. I took that picture just specific for Jack.
Oh, okay. Well, so let's keep it civil here. We're not going to hurl snits at each other. We're not going to mock and ridicule Ed Greenwood. Rob, come on.
I would like to say about this article is that eventually he says don't use it in too much, but eventually in Pathfinder, guns are a thing. Like there's definitely classes that have guns in Pathfinder, so it does come into it.
Who did Pathfinder?
Pathfinder is the Paizo took third edition.
That's right.
Third edition D&D and turned it into Pathfinder.
That's right. I forgot the name. I forgot Paizo.
Yep. So eventually, in a D&D clone, guns are a major thing. So it's kind of interesting. I'm sure
in games all around the world, homebrewed guns have made it because they're awesome and hopefully there's balance. But for a sponsored, magazine in which they are very concerned with the way the game plays, they can't say, "Hey, put a matchlock in your game." Okay, Rob, do you want to go to your second article?
We're going down to 74. This one's going to be a quick one just because it's all about alignments again. And yet another article trying to fix alignments, this time trying to use actual philosophy. And it's very long, it's dry as dirt, and doesn't fix anything. That's my talk about John Lee's article here. Don't read it. It's terrible. So there you go.
Yeah. If you
trying to apply logic to alignments is never going to work.
Philosophy in general is just mind exercises. I don't mind it. You talk about Descartes. Do you want to do any kind of you want to trolley me on a train track and put an orphan on one and a Ed Greenwood on another? You go right ahead. I don't think it's going to fix alignment. Pat, What about you?
No. I mean, I don't know. It's just hard to box people in that one label.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's the key, is not everybody acts the same every decision.
Or every situation.
Yeah, so.
I've seen, the memes where they put people in alignment, the boxes and stuff, and you go, hey, that's funny. Yeah, I understand that. I understand. Oh.
Generality.
Because generally, I like to consider myself a good person.
Yes.
But I know that you're chaotic neutral.
But if there was a Tyrannosaurus Rex chasing down me, you, and Rob, I would have no compunction stripping both of you and then sprinting.
Wow. Now we know, Jack, if we're ever in that situation, we take him out first.
So I immediately go from good to neutral evil.
But did we just eat all-you-can-eat Brazilian steakhouse fare, and I've still got some asparagus in my teeth? But I'm happy. I'll go. I'll stop. I'll say go.
Jack won't even run.
I'll turn around.
He'll go to trip him, and he'll be like 20 feet back, waiting for his demise.
Yeah, I'm happy.
We got to go back to the Brazilian steakhouse. Is all Jack's saying.
Yeah.
No, I've heard promise of some place called Crispy or something
Crisp.
Crisp.
Okay. We're going to Crisp,
yes.
And we're going to Smoke.
Okay, we're going to Crisp and Smoke.
Those of you in the Chicago area, you know what I'm talking about.
Yep. And if you're from Canada and you know that barbecue isn't our mainstay. It's not one of the 10 tent poles of our cuisine. We have to go across the border to get that. I'm hungry now. Anyways, so that was Rob. Yes, they can't fix alignment. They're not going to fix alignment, and this didn't help.
Yep, you wrapped it up. Perfect.
Yeah, yours was even more succinct, and probably didn't. We spent probably twice as long as we should have on that article.
Oh, well, quite a bit longer than twice as long, yeah.
So, Mr. Lewis, why don't you give us some of your dirty secrets?
My dirty secrets start on page 18.
Ooh, that's where all dirty secrets start.
Continuing what we talked about yesterday or last week. Gary came back with even more cantrips.
Yeah, I believe I said, wow, he really likes cantrips.
At the end of this article, with the promise of an illusionist cantrips coming soon.
We're not getting out of cantrips. There's going to be even more.
Well, probably not, though, because I was never a big illusionist class fan.
Yeah.
It would... My problem with the illusionists and the illusions, it relied on everyone in the game, everyone on the table to be on the same page and to kind of, you're all playing along. And I don't remember an illusion ever being more than, I disagree with that, or, the monster does, it didn't have the, at least we didn't have someone competent enough to make it work.
Yeah.
Your mileage may vary out there in the world, but illusionist, not my jam. Anyways, more cantrips, and they're basically just as helpful, or if not more so than the last batch. If you didn't, like it says right here, if you didn't get the first batch, you better go get yourself a copy of the last episode, because that basically spells it out. But yeah, cantrips to this day still a part of the game.
There you go.
All right.
Okay, I'm going to go to 38.
Oh, you're jumping into the jokes. This is my other one too.
Okay. It is a joke in that I don't know, because there are some joke articles. I don't want to step on anyone's toes, but spoiler alert, it's an April episode, and there's some jokes in here. And this one, I can see, to this day, there are companies that attack their fans for liking what they like and having opinions. And this is another one where you have a fan base.
Yeah.
And why would you go ahead and mock them for liking the magazine they want, that they're asking for, that they're paying good money for? And this is basically...
I don't think they're mocking the fans as much as they're mocking themselves. I think this is a bit of a self-mocking.
It's not as bad as, say, today, the article would be called "You're All Trolls," and I'm writing this to rub your face in the dirt that I think you deserve, and it'd be like, oh, okay, that's not clever. This is kind of clever. I'll admit it. I don't think it's a good look for anyone to mock a fan base that's supporting you, but this is kind of clever.
Well, it's the no-name brand of gaming magazine. So there's nothing, no added whistles. So it includes no title page, no page numbers, no headlines, no art, no ads, no special articles.
Because it keeps cutting down all the things that anyone's ever complained about.
So
why is it a game of magazine about a certain company? Well, it's not. We're going to go totally,
Yeah, it's a generic. Yeah, it's not. No articles are for every game, and eventually, it turns out the only thing that you can have is just rumors but you have no opinion on the rumors, and the rumors are very general, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
So you get like skewers, copycats, cons, employees threatening to quit, lawsuits, which I thought that's cutting it close, because I'm pretty sure that lawsuit just ended with the original creator there. What was his name? With a Gygax and him fighting over the...
Dave Arneson?
Arneson, yeah. And they also make fun of new magazines coming to the market all the time. So trying to copy them. So it is pretty funny, but yeah, it's for their usual April fare. This is a little bit better than usual. I'll give them that much, because usually it's not funny at all.
That was my thought. It was, again, I don't believe you should ever be attacking your fan base, but this is kind of clever enough that I didn't mind. This is the first April joke that I've actually covered. Usually I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Who else has an article? Have we tapped the articles?
I have one more article.
I got tons more.
Okay, well then, how about we do Pat, and then we'll dip over to Rob.
My turn.
Well, you had multiple, so I thought maybe if...
you're just going to let me go off for a long time?
Yeah, why don't you just...
Because I only have one more left.
Okay, fine. Fine. You're in charge.
We go to 56.
56.
This is one of mine too, actually.
Which is why I thought maybe if I
didn't know where or the the Farce magazine started and where it ended.
This is definitely part of the farce still.
So I was like, is this, I go, I'm not sure if this is sparse or
This is the end of the farce right here.
Or they sprinkle in some serious monsters with cartoon monsters.
Oh, the very first one's Jolly Green Giant.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, I read Valley Giant, and I looked down, and until I looked over the picture, I was like, why is that familiar? Oh, and then I scrolled down and went, oh, okay, now, yeah.
Yeah, but then this also falls into, I feel like they did this one April Fool's.
Yeah, they did.
We got Bugs
cartoon
Bunny
characters. Yeah.
Now we get Donald Duck, the Tasmanian Devil, and the Martian.
Marvin Martian. And I don't understand the baseball bugbears. That must have been a joke about some baseball team.
Yeah. Oh, the Bad News Bears.
Bad News Bears.
There you go. And the Werebeaver is the Beeve.
Well, yeah, the Beaver.
Yeah.
But I said about Donald Duck was Disney going to sue somebody.
They are pictures like the Tasmanian Devil and Marvin the Martian are like no joke, blatant. Yeah, obviously, they're parodies. So there's
not with that name. It's not a parody name.
Yeah. Well,
for some reason they didn't call the Jolly Green Giant Jolly Green Giant, but they called the rest by their real names.
Well, because it's Valley Farms, I think, the company that makes the.
Was it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, but that's it for me.
It's an old ad. Like you can't. Yeah, okay.
For me,
so Rob,
we could just scroll back up a bit. The very first thing is there's a midgets of the earth. It's supposed to be giants of the earth, but you can't say midget anymore. I find that offensive, so we'll just skip that one. But the other one is
especially since, like, again, you can't say that word. But the first parody is of Baby Doc. Idi Amin, who at this time was committing genocide.
That's horrible. And it's pretty much blackface.
Yeah, well, okay, yeah. Like, below that, they're parodying Mork from Mork. Okay, it's funny.
What page did you say you're on again, Rob?
This is page 52. It's a snit version of Idi Amin, yes.
Who was committing genocide at this time?
Yeah, and that's totally blackface, minstrel picture of a black person. This is super racist.
So I'm glad that we've skipped it and not highlighted it at all.
We're not talking about that one at all. I am talking about the artist of the month because it's Phil Folio.
Okay.
And the whole thing's about him never missing deadlines and all this stuff, and he's so fast and all. And then he puts a little note. This is the first time I missed deadline. It shows how he does his art, and it's paint by numbers.
Paint by numbers.
So, it was pretty funny. And and his wife is in a chainmail bikini again, which I thought was funny.
Yeah, she's got quite the keister on her. When I saw the colored by numbers things, I was like, okay, that's like self-deprecating humor.
Yeah, he's making fun of himself. Yep.
That's nice. I could look at that all day and get a little hearty chuckle.
There you go. I actually have other articles if you want to keep going.
Yes, like I said, I'm giving you the stage. We got Pat's out of the way so that you could run the table.
Out of the limb, I don't know if this is supposed to be a joke, but the first three ones are all by people that work for the company, including Gary Gygax.
Which page is that?
Page 6, out on the limb.
6.
The first one's Pulsifer. Pulsifer fights back against someone who hated his creature he made, which these aren't funny. It's just funny that they put these in here. Well, but he said they wanted this as an article, but they're like, we'll just put it in the letters column.
Didn't he make the creature we made fun of 2 episodes ago?
It could be the exact same creature that
the shroom.
Oh yeah, the shroom. This one is
the Pellin.
Pellin, yes.
What was the Pellin?
I don't remember. It must have been pretty unrememberable. But the Gygax one is taking Gygax and Jack are on the same page because he's talking about that archery article we talked about last week or the week before about how terrible it was and how historically inaccurate and how the guy's looking at it from a present point of view. And Gygax rips it apart pretty good.
And again, he's not wrong.
No.
I would say that
he pretty much says all the stuff you said, and Gygax says it. So, and the last one's more. He asked to fix some mistake the editor's screwed up in one of his articles. So that's usual. So I thought it was funny that they added those guys. Yeah. So for my last article is on page 81.
81.
It's What's New? What's New by Folio. Yeah, this one, right off the bat, he's making fun of the new TSR mini games. Yeah, biting the hand that feeds you. That's what this guy's doing. But he just skewers them and goes through all the different types of mini games, and most of them are just told. But he eventually gets to Escape from Cthulhu, where you just have to read, open the box and read aloud the encased incantation, and then it summons Cthulhu and you have to run from him. But like, this is way before Call of Cthulhu. Well, not way before, but before Call of Cthulhu. But you get a full page of Cthulhu chasing Phil and his wife. So yeah. I thought that was pretty awesome to start off the bat right there.
Well, that is pretty cool.
We get the Cthulhu joke, early Cthulhu joke.
An early Cthulhu joke. And honestly, I'm going to save that background for Dagon's tome. I think that's fantastic.
And that's all my articles.
Ooh, okay. Well, it's time to wrap. Yes, we've done it. Let's all take a moment to appreciate the quality of excellence that is our.
Yeah, I got ads. What about ads, Jack?
Oh, what? We do ads?
Just skipping everything, aren't you?
Okay, young Patrick, let's hear your ad.
All right, page 61 is the first one.
61.
Heroes of Olympus?
Yep. All my notes says looks like a fun game. I'm not exactly... It says a role-playing game, but it looks more like a chit war game to me.
Yeah. I think that the definition of role-playing games at the time was not so clear.
Because this is Task Force games, and they're all about chit war games.
But it's got scenarios. It's got and all the classics, Golden Fleece, Clashing Rocks. Like anyone who's seen. I
think you handle the scenarios via the chits, moving armies and stuff.
Okay. Rob, do you have a article or a ad? Pardon me.
Page 23.
23. Uh-oh.
Gen Con.
It's Gen Con 15. Still at Parkside, August 19th to 22nd, 82. And it's got this one. Usually they're like full page ads. They've scaled back on the ads a bit here.
And this was my ad, and I'll hop on the back of what you've just said. It looks like a ad for a small town, like held in a college campus or a library. Like the artwork, nothing about it shows the grandeur that should be for like the flagship convention for role-playing games.
Mm-hmm.
Like you couldn't get a better artist?
Yeah, it's weird that it's pretty simple.
It's quite simple.
It's
okay.
Pretty late.
What do you mean by that?
Oh, no, this is in August still, so.
This is April. April. We're in April.
Oh, yeah.
Because of April Fools.
Well, then that's still getting pretty late when they're looking for judges and events are still being sent.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because honestly, usually the magazine gets to you a month behind. I remember that's the way it used to be. You'd get the one. So, I don't know. Either way, none of us went to Gen Con 15, so...
I did.
Pat, did you... Yeah, I was going to say Pat went to it, I'm sure.
What?
Yeah, I didn't stop going to Gen Con till 80-something. 86, 87.
Well, I have yet to be...
This place is only an hour and a half away from me.
Yeah, I've never been invited to a Gen Con, so I don't know. But usually I can do bits straight-faced. Usually I can say the craziest things and not crack a smile. But sometimes, in the back of your head, you're like, you think it's funny. It's a good bit. I just broke. You broke me. That's what improv. Anyways, okay, yeah. So is that it for the ads?
I have one more ad.
I have another ad also.
Okay, let's do Pat, then we'll end on Rob. What
28?
28, not too far. Let's go see 28.
Fantasy Paths. And in big bold letters I wrote, there will never be a time when someone didn't make dungeon tiles.
It's right.
So true. No truer words have ever been spoken. You see them in almost right from the get-go. A form of dungeon tiles, one or the other. And I think it goes on for probably the length of role-playing games and will continue to.
Well, Paizo cuts their teeth on it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people do dungeon tiles, yeah.
And the fantasy paths, $15. Castle paths, $10. Honestly, for $10, if you could turn instead of scribbling on dry erase markers on.
I was trying to figure out if it's on card, or if it's just on regular paper. It doesn't say, so I assume it's regular paper.
Oh, in my mind, I had one thing, but it doesn't say, and you'd think they'd say.
You'd think that'd be a big thing to say it's on, like, nice stiff card or something, but it doesn't say that.
80-pound stock or something like that.
It doesn't say what it's actually on, so.
Yeah, so $15 or $10 is $30 now.
So it's pretty expensive. It better be cardboard.
Yeah, I think so. Is it one of those things where obviously they don't have to say it because it's assumed, or?
But you know where I'm going with today's mentality.
It doesn't say it. It's cheap. Yeah. It does say basic role-playing by Chaosium is included. So it's actually a role-playing game. It's included in the game, too. So or in the box. So
I would say, I don't know if I would call it cardstock, but I bet you it's a thicker piece. Like almost like chit cardboard.
Oh, so you're saying like an actual board game, stock?
Yeah.
Well, who knows?
Yeah, you got to buy some to find out, Pat.
No.
You could buy 5 of these for what you paid for some dragon dice.
I'm just gonna call them. Their phone number's right there.
Just call
some old lady. What?
What?
Yeah, I got a whole warehouse full of these. I'll give them to you cheap.
Oh, so the bit isn't that it's just someone who's gotten the number after all these years.
No, she still lives there.
She's still there working in the warehouse.
Yeah.
Or it's the closed down warehouse.
Yeah, it's her son did it, and she's just like got stuck with all this crap after he just left.
Jeremy, oh, that's right. He died in Korea.
No. It was way before both those things. He just died in Korea. And nothing to do with the war.
I think the nearest war to this time period would be the Falkland Islands.
That's true.
Well, he didn't die in a war. He just went to Korea and died. It's just a sad coincidence.
Okay. So, Rob, you want to give us this was the penultimate ad we've looked at. Let's wrap it up.
It's on page 79. Is Bushido. It's the classic role-playing game in feudal Japan, and we're seeing a lot more of these non-D&T RPGs popping up, and it's nice to see. We're getting a lot more variety, not just fantasy clones. We're actually getting other places. So
I was almost going to do this because of that picture of that, like that illustration there is used for decades. That guy, you look at it, I looked at it and went, oh, that's the guy.
Oh, Bushido, yeah.
That's Bushido.
Yeah. So, yes. So you can go to the misty Isles of Nippon, which I'm not sure you're allowed to say that anymore either.
Well, I think you are.
It's called Nihon, I think now. They've changed it.
Did they really?
That's the American version of saying Nippon. It's the American version of Japanese.
Oh.
Yeah. Things are changing, people. Things are changing.
Well, last time I took my flight from Constantinople over to Yugoslavia, I was like happy as a clam. So that wraps up this episode, I think. not a bad magazine. I think we got a lot out of it. We've
did it.
certainly had worse, and certainly we've slogged through worse. I enjoyed this one. How about the two of you? You feel good? You feel proud?
I feel like we
feel good. Like I knew I would. I feel fine.
Never before have I heard Pat be able to resist the urge to sing along.
I was amazed. I was waiting for it. He just refused.
I think that's the first time. Okay. Well, before we break into song.
I didn't want to get yelled at for singing at the end of an episode again.
Oh.
Jack was just embarrassed because he sang with you.
That one was after the clacker. The this that says, okay, you're safe. And then Pat and I just, having a little...
That's not true. You sang right through the clacker.
bro song. A couple of chums just singing a song. And
we sang right through the clacker on that one.
Okay, well...
the song has no respect for the clacker.
Yeah, we did definitely dominate the clacker. So if you want to see more of Pat and I doing duets of classic pop songs or talking about Dragon Magazine, come back next week, episode 61, and, come on in.
Come on in. Pull up a chair. Join us.
We're all friends here.
Sit by the fire.
It's 30 minutes,
right there.
Have us on while you're painting your minis.
Can't see the fire. The picture, it's not there.
No.
Oh.
There's no fire. I see the glow, but that's it.
Well, I've been Jack.
And I've been Chopper.
I'm Rob. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Clacker.